Hello, this is my 2003 Land Rover Defender TD5. In this video I'm going to show how I assembled and fitted a heavy-duty universal type roof rack to my Land Rover Defender. Of course, the first thing I've got to do is get it out of the box. So I pump it onto this table, of course, and start unwrapping it. I've got to say at this point, this was a very reasonably priced roof rack. It's not a really expensive one. It was about £125. On first inspection, it seems to be really well packed. The box is very sturdy and there's no damage to it whatsoever. Once I get the lid off, I can see that it's still very sturdily packaged. It's packaged so that nothing can move around, so nothing can get damaged in transit. The instructions look pretty comprehensive as well. So I start by removing some of the packing, if you like, and there's also some cable ties which need to be cut. So I remove those, and then I start lifting all the various components out of the box. There seems to be 4 major components to it, and they're all powder coated and of a very good quality, it seems. And the brackets for fixing it to my roof bars, they seem very substantial. It's quite impressive so far. So once I've studied all the components and understood how they all go together, I start to assemble it. You'll see here I've got some Vaseline which I've put on the joints, because the joints are covered with a rubber type sleeve which is difficult to get on. So I've just used some Vaseline to lubricate it so it slips over the joint easier. This is an expandable roof rack. I don't have to use the middle section, but I am using it in this instance, and all that holds it into place is kind of a telescopic type fit, and it's then secured in place. Each section is secured in place with a self-tapping screw. Overall there's 8 self-tapping screws to be fitted. This plate that I've picked up is what joins the bottom ribs, if you like, of the middle section. It's obviously made like this so that it can be easily transported. So they give you this sandwich of a plate to sandwich the bars in. It's not too much of a problem. It's just 4 nuts and bolts, that's all. I apologise for the occasional howling of the wind. It seems no matter whenever I put the camera on in this garden, the wind starts blowing a hoolie. Now I'm about to fit the front section, so it's basically a case of rinse and repeat. So I've put the rubber sleeve type covers on already, and now all I've got to do is push the front section onto the mid section here, and that's it basically. Do the screws up, and that's the thing assembled, and it's pretty strong. Before I carry it out to my Land Rover, I'm just doing a quick double check of the length of the finished article, because it's a bit of touch and go as to whether it might be too long or not. Confident that it's going to fit, I do the final few bits of tightening up the screws and slipping the rubber covers over the joints. Once again, I do apologise for the horrendous wind noise. The thing is, when I'm engrossed in the work, I really don't notice that the wind is blowing. The rubber covers are a tight fit, and I've used an excessive amount of Vaseline here, but I had to because it's such a tight fit over the joint, and you have to push the rubber cover over a screw as well. Here you can see I've kind of put in plenty of Vaseline on. So before finally tightening this kind of sandwich plate, I make sure it's exactly in the centre. I just put a couple of marks on the cardboard underneath which shows the centre, and then just tighten up the 4 nuts and bolts. Here I'm just fitting a couple of reflectors that were supplied. I don't think they're going to be any good for my application, but I'll fit them anyway. So now it's time to carry it out to the vehicle. As you can see, it's not that heavy. It's an easy one-man lift for me. And I just take it out and I lift it straight onto the roof bars of my Land Rover. Once it's up there, I'm just going to double check the height, because as you can see in the background there's a canopy that I have to go under, and I've got to be very careful I don't hit that. Now I'm just taking a few measurements so that I can centre it up and make sure that it looks okay before I get the brackets and fix it down. Now the reason I'm fitting this roof basket, if you like, is because the roof bars themselves are pretty ineffective as an actual roof rack, unless you're carrying a ladder or something long like that. So my wife and I are shortly going on a road trip, a camping road trip, and I just thought one of these kind of baskets would be easier to use than the roof bars on their own. Anyway, here I'm just showing you the fixing bracket that comes, well, one of the fixing brackets that comes with the roof rack, and they kind of hand tighten with a mechanism, you know, a large mechanism. You can see it spinning here, and that tightens it up onto the roof bars, and the company even supply a rubber grommet type thing that pushes in over the thread and makes it watertight. Overall, I'd say this roof rack was a really good piece of kit, and for the price, I think it's great value. I mean, it seems really good quality for £127. Okay, it's not one of those safari type roof racks, which is 4 times the price. It's just a basket which is easy to throw stuff in. We might not even use it for anything, but it's just there just in case. And it's only a temporary thing. It'll all come off when the camper trip's over. So to me, it's excellent value. So there we are. Hopefully the last thing I'm going to have to bolt onto my beloved Land Rover. As you can see, I've already had to bolt on a roof tent and a side awning. So that's another job done. My wife is going to be so pleased. We're getting so much closer to the next road trip. Thank you so much for watching, and if you can, please subscribe. Thank you.